Angel Reese, you can't be the big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because if you want to act grown, which she has, if you want to get paid like you grown, which you are, if you want to talk to grown folks like you grown, which you did post-game when you told a coach for an opposing team, watch your mouth. If you want to tell people get your money up, then post-game when you take an L, you just got to take it on the chin.
I disagree with the take, and I do agree with the take at the same time, and I'll explain. Number one, I disagree because talking about the villain, an athlete doesn't proclaim themselves as a villain. Usually the media makes them out into a villain. I don't think she went around saying like, oh, I'm the villain, I'm the bad guy, like treat me like the bad guy, I'm gonna be that. Usually what happens is they act a certain way, they have a certain type of personality, and then the media makes them out to be this specific type of person. And then they run with it because they're just tired of the games and they're just gonna run with that just to make everybody mad or whatever it is. I don't agree with that part, and I don't agree with the words that he said as a dog, whatever, the cowardly dog. So I'm split 50-50 because I feel like as an athlete, performing at the highest level in college, right, is her and Caitlin Clark, whatever, and a couple other players. If you're going to be that good, you got to be prepared for the criticism to come. Everybody has their opinion about what you do, what you didn't do, how you should be, and how you should act and how you shouldn't act, right? That's just a part of how it is. When you put yourself out there as a professional athlete, entertainer, politics, whatever it is, people are going to have their opinions, right? Just like me being on this platform. I get hated comments too as well because people are going to have their opinion on everything that you do. At the other take of it, I feel like she has her own right to be emotional and express that there too as well. I'm not going to lie, I couldn't imagine getting death threats and being sexualized and all these other things just because I'm playing a professional sport or I'm playing in college at a high level.
Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you have self-proclaimed to be the villain. Shout out to you because you are the second best basketball.
And then let me know, how does she self-proclaim herself to be the villain? Somebody tell me that. Just let me know how she said, I'm the villain.
You painted the bullseye on your back. Why are you surprised when people shoot at you? So if you want to act grown, if you want to pose grown, if you want to talk grown, if you want to talk to grown folks grown, then you got to take the L like you grown. Because what frustrated me is when you want to be the villain, but you want to hope for sympathy like a hero. Go to the podium. And now...
Hey, that's a tough take. That's a tough take. If she did, in fact, proclaim herself to be the villain like that, then that's going to come with it. Now, that's on her. Now, if she didn't do that and the media made her out to be like that, that's something different. If you think about this whole situation, right, it reminds me of like a Draymond Green or like a Dennis Rodman, right? Draymond is like the new age Dennis Rodman. Dennis was just being who he was. Draymond is just being who he is. And people just don't like him for some reason, just because the way that he acts. He's a professional athlete. The man has a right to act any way that he wants to. Just like everybody watching this and watching sports, you can act any way that you want to as well. But at the same time, you know you're going to get criticism and things that come along with it. So if you're going to act like that and be like that, be prepared for what's going to come. Just like I'm prepared for comments and things that people say. It's just a part of what happens when you put yourself out there in any type of open market on the internet, professional sports, entertainment, athletes, whatever. People are always going to have stuff to say no matter what you do, whether it's good or bad. And then also, too, recently, Matt Barnes made a statement to this as well. Matt Barnes is basically saying, in my opinion, that Acho had a good take, but just the way that he worded it and what he said was kind of off, right? So let's listen to what Matt Barnes had to say.
Just saw the take my brother Emmanuel Acho made about Angel Reese on Fox Sports.
Angel Reese, you can't be the big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I like Acho, but I think he missed the ball on this one. The media made
Angel just a little
Reese
bit
the villain, just like they made Caitlin Clark the America's sweetheart. I don't think Angel Reese said, hey, I want to be the villain. I think she ran with the title, and as a former villain, I know how that goes. Like she.
So I agree with that, right? I don't think she specifically said, I'm the villain, I'm the big bad person. You know, everybody's got to come through me. right? I definitely think she ran with that because before I remember, she was liked by everybody. Everybody was talking about her. So this is new to me for her to be like, oh, the villain, and to get all this hate and everything that's coming her way because she was specifically emotional after a big game. Again, when you're playing at a high level like that, people get emotional because they want to win, right? They're not there just to be there. So for her crying about that, man, let the girl live and let her do what she wants to do. That's crazy, man. Let's finish this up.
I was a villain at one point, so she's like, they're going to use
Matt Barnes was the villain a lot of times.
Use it to my benefit. But I think the one thing you can't debate is her game and the
No.
numbers she puts up and her talent. And it's weird that everyone has an issue with her talking or her even crying in the post press conference, but don't talk enough about her game. I feel like she's damned if she does, damned if she don't. She gets criticized for talking shit. She gets criticized for crying. But if you think about it, Acho, it's her last college game. She's going to the league. So she had a great run at LSU, captivated the world, helped change really the viewership in women's basketball. And obviously there was other women that helped with that. But Angel Reese was a big part of that.
So I totally 100% agree with that. I think with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, a lot more people are putting a lot more attention on women's college basketball right now, right? Obviously there's that big whole debate between women getting paid like men in professional sports and all these other things. But the fact of the matter is they do have some really good athletes playing in college basketball and in the WNBA too as well, right? Criticism is a part of that. But they did bring more eyeballs and they lifted up the game, in my opinion, right? By them playing and them playing at such a high level. He also made a take talking about comparing this situation and how they look at Caitlin Clark as like America's sweetheart and Angel Reese as like the villain to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird when they came into the league. I'm not old enough to specifically have seen them play like that, but I've heard of many takes and many people say that too as well. But you got to think too as well, it's her last college game before she goes to the league. She's gonna be upset, and just have your take on it, but be respectful about it, right? So I think he was right, but his wording I think was a little bit off. But I still rock with the whole situation. I still think in reality, everybody's right and everybody's wrong. I just feel like that because everybody's going to have an opinion no matter what you do. Just like people are going to have opinions about my take on this too as well. That's just my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Till then, subscribe, like the channel. I'm out.